The Citadel armor has been in Star Citizen for a long time, but it is still one of the rare armor set you can loot. In this guide, I'll show you how to farm it quickly and efficiently across several different locations. You'll see exactly which missions you need to complete, what reputation level is required to unlock them, and how much grinding is actually involved. The good news is, the grind is surprisingly short. I'll also show you which ship I use for these missions and how the Argo SCV SM makes transporting loot containers much easier when you have to park 2 or 3 kilometers away from the target location. By the end of this guide, you'll know the fastest way to start farming the Citadel armor yourself. The first thing you need to know is that you'll have to run Foxwell Enforcement bunker missions. Why? Because you need to reach the Junior Security Contractor reputation level before the Sweep and Clear location missions become available. Those are the missions you'll need if you want to farm the Citadel armor consistently. The good news is that the reputation grind really isn't that long and it is useful even beyond this armor farm. While running these bunker missions, you can collect plenty of weapons, ammunition, medical supplies and other useful gear for future missions, especially if you've only recently started playing. And before we get into the actual Citadel armor locations, I'll also show you exactly how I prepare and what equipment I bring for this type of mission. For these missions, I always use heavy armor. My main weapon is usually the Karna rifle, but bringing a sniper rifle will make your life much easier. I personally use the P6LR, but you can use whichever sniper rifle works best for you. Of course, make sure to bring enough spare ammunition for both the Karna and the P6LR. I also recommend taking at least one drink, just in case the mission takes longer than expected. A med gun is essential, and I always carry a spare refill for it. For utility, bring a pyro multi-tool with the tractor beam attachment. And one of the most important things is to use the largest backpack you can find, because you'll want as much space as possible for weapons, ammunition and other gear you collect along the way. That is why I use the Novikov backpack. Now that the gear is covered, let's move on to the 4 different sweep and clear location missions, where the Citadel boss can spawn. Each location plays a little bit differently. Some sites have no hostile turrets, which means you can land your ship right next to the facility. Others are protected by turrets, so you'll need to park 2 or 3 kilometers away and use a smaller ground vehicle to reach the mission area safely. For that reason, I use Anvil Valkyrie together with Argo CSV SM ground vehicle, which can carry up to 4 SCU containers. The Valkyrie gives me plenty of room for the vehicle, loot containers and any additional equipment I recover during the mission. But you definitely don't need a Valkyrie. Any ship that can carry a small ground vehicle and at least one loot container can work well for this farm. Now let's go through all 4 mission types one by one. So, the first mission type is the wreck site missions, like this one here on Selen. For these missions, you don't need a ground vehicle or hoverbike because there are no hostile turrets protecting the site, which means you can land your ship very close to the objective. You'll usually have around 10 enemies to eliminate. Once the area is clear and you've looted the Citadel armor from the boss, take a few extra minutes to search the wreck itself. These locations can sometimes contain purple loot containers with very valuable armor inside, so they are definitely worth checking. Overall, wreck site missions are one of the safest and easiest options if you want to use only your ship and a loot container, without bringing an additional ground vehicle or hoverbike. The second mission type takes place at forward operation bases, such as Stone's Throw here on Selen or Mindless Spire on Daymar. These locations are protected by only one hostile turret, and it is usually very easy to destroy. Because of that, you don't need a ground vehicle or hoverbike. Once the turret is down, you can land your ship right next to the base. You'll normally face around 12 enemies, including one boss wearing the Citadel armor. I strongly recommend using a sniper rifle here because the base is fairly open and you can eliminate most of the enemies from the safe distance. The location itself is not very large and, to be honest, I haven't found any special loot containers here. So once you've looted the Citadel armor, you can usually move straight on to the next mission. But if you had a better luck and found something valuable at these locations, let me know in the comments. In my opinion, Derelict outposts are the best locations for loot. They are completely safe to approach because there are no defensive turrets, which means you can land your ship very close to the site. You'll usually need to eliminate around 13 to 15 enemies before you can start looting. And this is where these locations really stand out. Depending on the size of the outpost, you can find subscriber items such as helmets, armor pieces and pyro multi-tools in different colors, which is great if you are tired of using the standard yellow version. I'm actually using one of those alternate color multi-tools right now. You can also find mineable gems that are useful for crafting, and some of them can be surprisingly high quality. Here are a few examples where I found some really valuable gems. At one outpost on Yela, I even found 2 excellent Paladin subscriber helmets. And at another location, I found this Neoni Yuki Ona subscriber helmet. So in my opinion, Derelict outposts are some of the best sweep and clear missions for loot, especially when you get a larger location like this one on Daymar. The final type of sweep and clear missions is the bunker mission. These locations are by far the most dangerous to approach because each bunker is usually protected by 4 to 6 hostile turrets. For that reason, you should land around 2 to 3 kilometers away from the facility and continue the rest of the journey using the ground vehicle. You'll normally need to eliminate around 13 enemies to complete the mission, and once objective is finished, you'll have 30 minutes to loot the area. For these missions, I strongly recommend bringing a vehicle that can carry at least one SCU storage container. Good options include the Argo SCV SM, the Cyclone, the Drake Mule, or the Greycat UTV. Most of these vehicles can be purchased or rented in-game, and they are relatively inexpensive. I usually park the vehicle directly outside the bunker entrance and, when needed, take the storage container inside with me. The Citadel boss will often spawn outside the bunker, so make sure to check the exterior area before heading underground. The loot inside bunkers is usually quite good. You can find weapons, ammunition, food, drinks, hacking cards, armor pieces and plenty of other useful supplies. Overall, bunker missions are more dangerous and require a little more preparation, but they are still a very good option for farming the Citadel armor and collecting additional loot. I hope this guide helped you understand how to unlock and farm the Citadel armor efficiently. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel and share the video with other Star Citizen players. And let me know in the comments how you usually farm the Citadel armor, especially if you found a reliable method in a system other than Stanton. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, may the force be with you in the verse.